at 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
They want a police officer criminally charged. That's why a protest is underway at San Antonio Police headquarters. Demonstrators calling for fired officer James Brennan to be charged in connection with the shooting of a 17-year-old in a McDonald's parking lot a little more than a week ago.
The groups Act for SA and Party for Socialism and Liberation organized this event. Our John Paul Barajas is there live. John Paul, it looks like this group is growing.
Steve, Myra, things are starting to pick up a little bit, and we've seen plenty of people holding signs that say justice for Eric Cantu, arrest and charge James Brennan, followed by chants, some of them saying no justice, no peace. They're frustrated because right now Cantu is currently fighting for his life in the hospital. Meanwhile, Brennan is still a free man, and they want to see him charged. That's what all this is about. Body cam video shows us that day that the former officer, who was only with the department for 7 months, opened Cantu's car door without warning. He then shot at Cantu both when he reversed and as he drove away, all of which the police chief says is against SAPD protocol, which is why he was fired days after the shooting. But for organizations like Party for Socialism and Liberation, that's just not enough.
Definitely, I think that the community needs to feel safer on the streets, and I think that that comes with holding these people accountable, holding policemen accountable. Extreme force shouldn't be used, especially in situations like that. Pulling the trigger that fast should never be acceptable.
Organizers want to see Brennan charged and then his case to be sent to the grand jury. They're hoping this rally and this protest will get the attention not just of the DA, but also the San Antonio police chief. Again, the police chief tells us that charges should be filed by the end of the week. At Public Safety Headquarters, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, we'll keep following it. Thanks, John Paul. We now know the name of a second victim who died in a crash that also killed a student at Our Lady of the Lake University. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office says 22-year-old Carlos Morante was the other driver killed in that crash last Sunday. This happened around 3:20 in the morning on Wurzbach Parkway. Angela Martinez, a volleyball player at Our Lady of the Lake, was also killed in that collision. A prayer vigil was held on campus for her yesterday.
Tonight, fire crews in New Braunfels still monitoring a mulch fire that started this morning. That fire broke out about 1 this morning at Eggemeyer Land Clearing in the 300 block of Psalms Road. Firefighters say that fire is still active, but it is contained. The Psalms Road area now reopened, but fire officials are asking drivers to be cautious when they drive there. Crews will be continuing to monitor the fire throughout the night.
A 5-hour interrogation video played to a jury today. This happened in the trial of a woman who is accused of killing her 4-year-old daughter. Erica Hernandez with what that mother said to detectives.
Pacing back and forth, Jessica Briones appears to be nervous about sitting down with San Antonio Police Department Detective Raul Juarez. Briones is on trial for the 2017 murder of her daughter, Olivia Briones. It was later discovered that Olivia had multiple injuries. During the interrogation video, Jessica says she woke up the morning of September 5th and Olivia appeared very sick.
She didn't get up, so that's when I said I had to take her to the doctor at the hospital or something.
She went on to say that nothing else unusual happened the night before, except the child might have fallen.
It seemed fine.
During that interrogation video, it was also revealed that Olivia had not been to a doctor since her 18-month checkup. Despite that, Jessica said she still never took her to get checked, even after other injuries appeared. Briones says there was an instance several months before Olivia's death when she hit her head and started bleeding.
Blood all over.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So much of it. I just put my hands, put pressure.
Briones went on to say she didn't take Olivia to the doctor then because it was too late and there were no buses. She also mentions that Olivia had previously hit her arm on a door, but she insists she never physically hurt her. Testimony will continue in this trial on Wednesday. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Tonight, San Antonio police still searching for the driver responsible for a hit and run that sent someone to the hospital. That incident happened just before 11 last night in the 8000 block of Jones-Maltzberger Road. It's on the north side. Police say a man walked into the street when he was hit by a van. The driver of that van did not stop and left the area. The victim taken to University Hospital. He's expected to be okay. When found, the driver faces a charge of failure to stop and render aid.
Cibolo police are asking for your help identifying a man who's accused of stealing a package off a porch. Take a look here. Police say this man was seen stealing that package from a home on Willowbrook. He was in a tan-colored truck with another man. Cibolo police believe they may be landscapers who work in this area. If you have any information, call Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers 877-403-8477.
The most severe form of domestic violence is murder. We're seeing that way too often in our own community. In a domestic violence crisis, the ability to assess how deadly that situation is could save lives. Courtney Friedman got an update today about the county's first pilot program helping law enforcement connect victims to resources while still on the scene. It's part of Courtney's series Confronting Domestic Violence, Loving in Fear.
Bexar County deputies get to a scene. They realize it involves domestic violence and they seek out the victim. For the last year, their ability to help that victim on the spot has been elevated. Deputies can now dial a navigation line and connect with experts who do a lethality risk assessment. Basically, how likely is it that victim will die from domestic violence? That trained team of 16 people are from the South Texas Regional Advisory Council, or STRAC.
The communications team at STRAC will ask 11 specific danger risk assessment questions, and they will end up concluding that the risk is either high, medium, or low.
Is this the first time that you've been subject to domestic violence? Did they try to choke you? Have they tried to hurt you or kill you in the past? Have they ever tried suicide?
STRAC Chief of Operations Dudley Waite says action plans and resources are put into place on the spot. If the risk is deemed high, that person will be taken to a safe location, given basic necessities, and a Metro Health case manager will contact them immediately.
We've got to get you out now, or else you're going to become a heartbreaking statistic.
At a press conference today, the agencies involved said at the program's halfway mark, things are looking good. In the last year, deputies have made almost 3,000 calls to the navigation line.
While we'd love to do the touchdown dance and celebrate, we also realize, having seen some of the pretty heartbreaking cases that we're still continuing to handle, taking into consideration some of the pretty heartbreaking strangulation cases that we've been handling as of late, it reminds us that while we've enjoyed some successes, there's still a lot of work to do.
The pilot program will be funded by University Health for another year. Then its efficacy will be fully assessed. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
A Dallas anesthesiologist accused of tampering with IV bags, which led to the death of another doctor. He's now been indicted. Reynaldo Rivera Ortiz Jr. was arrested in September. He's now indicted on 10 counts, including tampering with consumer products causing serious bodily injury and adulteration of a drug. Ortiz is accused of injecting nerve-blocking agents and other drugs into patient IV bags at a surgery center. It killed a fellow doctor and caused multiple heart emergencies. A Texas Medical Board disciplinary panel was informed of the accusations last month and suspended his Texas medical license, at least temporarily.
A judge weighing in on Bexar County's decision to close more than 40 polling places this November, issuing a temporary injunction. Bexar County now has less than 2 weeks to add more polling locations back in.
Our Alicia Bonetta spoke to a representative from the Texas Civil Rights Project and explains exactly what this means for voters.
During Bexar County Commissioner's Court on September 6, Elections Administrator Jackie Callanan pitched 259 polling locations.
It was a significantly low number, lower than, the 302, 303 polling locations folks were used to in the 2020 and 2018 elections.
The motion for less polling sites was passed, but the plaintiff, Texas Organizing Project, alleges it was due to incorrect information.
Following also the Texas Election Code, it really should be 388 polling locations in Bexar County.
Bexar County implemented countywide polling in 2019, which means voters can cast their ballot at any polling location. This week, Judge Martha Tanner issued a temporary injunction against the county in accordance with the Texas Election Code, which states on Election Day, Bexar County must operate 50% as many polling places as there are election precincts, which totals to 388 polling locations.
According to the ruling, those polling locations must be determined and posted online by October 18th.
We reached out to the Elections Department and county officials for a statement, to which they replied, quote, "We cannot comment on pending litigation."
I think it'll be a real team effort between ourselves, our clients, other community groups, the Commissioner's Court, and the Elections Office in figuring how to increase the polling locations to meet the community need.
Locations that must be staffed and ready to go by early voting, which begins October 24th. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic out there at this hour. This is a look at the 6 o'clock commute. Loop 410 at Evers. We have seen traffic stack up from time to time in this area, but it's really been stop and go. No real tie-ups or big traffic crashes causing a backup to make you aware of. Things just slow going here at 410 and Evers.
Yeah, and those westbound lanes looking right into the evening sun tonight as, we keep looking to the sky hoping for some rain. Adam Caskey back from his Florida trip. Welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be back. Definitely good to be back. And we're looking for rain. We have some chances in the extended forecast with 2 cold fronts. We'll get into those in a moment. First of all, today above average, 65 in the morning, high temperature of 87 right now, 87 on the west side, Port SA, 84 in Helotes, 87 in New Braunfels, officially at the airport, 85, 87 right now in Hondo. And this evening, temperatures quickly falling through the 80s and down into the 70s, actually mid-70s by 10 o'clock and near 70 at midnight. Increasing humidity again tonight, but with 2 cold fronts on the way, humidity will be up and down a bit. We're going to talk about that, time it out, and also Tropical Storm Carl in the Gulf. I'll show you where that's going in just a bit.
Welcome back. I'm Stefania Jimenez, and tonight on the Night Beat, 5 years without her daughter or much needed closure.
It's hard knowing that she didn't get to do any of these things that she wanted to do.
And the driver charged in the 13-year-old's death has yet to go to trial. We're going to tell you why and what's happened since that deadly car crash. Also, putting an emphasis on mental health, the step that one city council member is promising after several San Antonio police officers take their own lives. Plus, a string of crimes from Texas to Virginia potentially brought to a halt by a traffic stop, what Kerrville police say they found in a car. Tonight on the Night Beat.
Thanks, Stefania. Developers are calling a new walking trail on the south side the first step at connecting the city's green space.
Yeah, the 1 mile loop is located right next to Texas A&M San Antonio. KSAT's Camelia Juarez tells us what makes this trail unique for visitors as well as students.
We've never had a trailway on the south side of San Antonio.
Destiny Guerra grew up on the south side and attends Texas A&M San Antonio. The Matlack Greenway, San Antonio's newest trail, is located near campus off University Way. Guerra says the closest trail is several miles away near the Mission.
But now we have it here where I can just step out of my classroom and go, hey, I'm going to go take a walk and, get a breath of fresh air.
A unique feature about this walking path is that it's made from recycled asphalt, meaning it's good for the environment and soft for runners. Gretchen Howell with Vita, the developers of the trail, says today's opening is the first step in introducing more people to the surrounding nature.
We're so excited to be a part of connecting Southside to the larger county city trail system. This is a first important step in what we think is a critical journey.
Howell says the green space was designed to have a low impact on the environment, which is an educational opportunity for A&M students.
Some of the soil samples they found have potentially antimicrobial microbes in it, so that kills bacteria, which is really good to have around a trail.
Having the opportunity to have others generational wise be in here and just be a part of it and keep continuing to be healthy and be a part of nature.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with Sky 12 flying high above the Pearl there, the grassy area they have there.
It's green.
It's green for now.
Well, it's also turf.
I was going to say it's also an artificial turf, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's green all year.
At least it's the green that most of us wish we had.
It's a popular spot, though.
It is.
Especially when it's in the 80s and nice weather that we've been having.
Well, this time next week, you're going to notice some changes, that's for sure.
Bring it on.
I know. And I wish it meant higher rain chances. We just can't seem to muster up much in terms of rain. A little bit of hope here and there, but I want to talk about temperatures first. We have not one but 2 cold fronts headed our way. Take a look at the temperature trend. The first cold front hits late tomorrow, Obviously, that's not going to have a big impact on temperatures. We're looking at low 90s the next 3 or 4 days. But by early next week on Monday, high temperatures back down into the upper 70s to right near 80 degrees. So that second cold front, I think, will be more impactful in terms of how it feels outside and even rain chances. Still nothing to get excited about, but slightly better rain chances than the first cold front. First cold front right now, it's off to the north. Bismarck, North Dakota, 59, 76 North Platte, Nebraska, Denver, 71. That cold front's headed south, but our temperatures in the 80s right now aren't going to change very much. It's not going to have an impact on our temperatures, but it will have an impact on our humidity. 84 in Uvalde now, 85 officially in San Antonio, Gonzales 87, and Cotulla currently at 91. So this is what we can expect tomorrow morning. Upper 60s for most of us, Hill Country mid 60s. So Canyon Lake about 66, Hondo, Pleasanton, San Antonio 68 in the morning. Then by the afternoon, well above average. The average high is 84, and we're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees above the average high temperature. Hondo 93, San Antonio officially about 92. You get to Stone Oak 93, Castroville 94, Timberwood Park and Bernie 92 for the high temperature tomorrow. I mentioned the dew point is going to be something that is going to drop off behind this cold front, at least for just a few days. Right now, dew point of 59. It was much higher earlier this morning, but by the afternoon you get that drier air aloft mixing downward and the humidity falls off, but it's going to be low all around for Thursday and Friday, basically the latter part of this week. You'll be noticing the lower humidity. Dew points right now, for the most part, around that 60-degree mark. But look at our trend here. Tomorrow, we'll still have dew points around 60. Then behind the cold front, Thursday and Friday, we're looking at dew points down in the low to mid 50s before they rebound for this weekend. And remember, it takes humidity in the air. It takes these higher dew points to generate rain chances. And we do have a little bit of hope Sunday, late Sunday, and even on into Monday. I want to talk about the overall pattern and what we have across the state. Not a whole lot of action, a little bit of rain activity here and there out in West and North Texas, but we also have Tropical Storm Carl. This is the newest system in the Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche, far to the south of us. It's going to try to throw some rain showers to the valley. I think that's about it. Otherwise, this system is a low-end tropical storm, max sustained winds of 40, gusting up to 50, right near the center of the storm, and it's likely to just mosey around the southern Bay of Campeche and then make landfall around Friday, somewhere between Tampico and Veracruz, as most likely a tropical storm. Bottom line, really no impact on our weather around here or really anywhere in the U.S. along the Gulf Coast. 68 in the morning tomorrow. By noon, we'll be at 84 degrees. And do note, we'll have those low gray clouds in the morning, giving way to a lot of afternoon sunshine. 92 the high temperature. So above average temperatures, but then the humidity drops off despite the warm temperatures come Thursday and Friday. Notice this 10% chance of a shower tomorrow evening around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. We just can't rule out with the approach of that cold front a weak isolated shower here and there. Then sunny Thursday and Friday with the low humidity, low 90s though still. And then Sunday later in the day, about a 20% chance of a shower or storm. Monday throughout the day, a 30% chance. That could rise. We'll keep you updated. Otherwise, windy and noticeably cooler in the upper 70s by Monday and Tuesday.
All right, we don't mind that. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Spurs on the road in search of their first preseason win, Greg.
Yeah, and they only have 2 preseason games left before the regular season tips off 1 week from this Wednesday, so they need a victory. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the big game tonight. Also, payback game for the University of Texas following their huge win over OU coming up. San Antonio Spurs will look for their first preseason win tonight when they face the Jazz in Salt Lake City. That's after they went 0-3 in their 111-97 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans at home on Sunday night. The Spurs only have 1 other preseason game left. That will be on Thursday against Oklahoma City at home, where they tip out the regular season 1 week from this Wednesday on October the 19th against the Charlotte Hornets in the AT&T Center. Here's tonight's matchup, 8 p.m. tip-off. Highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. The UTSA Roadrunners will be huge favorites when they face Florida International on the road, I should say, on Friday night. Short work week here. Had the Roadrunners on practice field early this week, following their narrow 31-28 victory over the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. We touched on this a bit yesterday, but one of the things that has improved for the Roadrunners as this season has gone along has been their run game. Brendan Brady has certainly done his fair share this season after deciding to return for one more year. He has 5 touchdowns and 386 yards on the ground, but now he's getting help from Traylon Smith, the Arkansas transfer, who is healthy and so far has contributed 2 touchdowns.
Just getting the push, man, and just staying dialed in. You know, it was a little bumpy at the beginning of the season, but, you know, the plan is coming along. You know, the O-line has been working hard at practice. You know, running back's been working hard at practice. You know, just staying focused and, you know, just trusting what the coaches got planned for us, and it's been turning out pretty well.
All right, the Roadrunners are 33.5-point favorites for their Friday night game against Florida International that kicks at 7 p.m. The Texas Longhorns will be 2 touchdown favorites when they host Iowa State this Saturday morning at Royal Memorial Stadium. That's after coming off their biggest win ever over Oklahoma, 49-0 in the Red River rivalry last Saturday that placed the Longhorns back in the top 25 at number 22. As a result, the Longhorns have improved to 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the Big 12, and 5th place behind Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Kansas. The return of Quinn Ewers, who threw for 4 touchdowns against the Sooners, and the run game behind Bijan Robinson, who already has 10 touchdowns on the ground. They will need that and then some against the Iowa State defense that helped lead to a 30-7 victory over the Horns last year.
We didn't play great last year against Iowa State at their place. We played decent in the first half. It really got overwhelmed in the second half, didn't play very well in the third quarter. So I think our guys are hungry to go out and play a better brand of football this year.
All right, kickoff in Austin on Saturday will be at 11 a.m.
With the Lions Club, our motto is we serve, and we know we can do that better if we do it with other people and together.
Our friends of the Northside Lions Club making their annual donation to the Society of St. Vincent de Paul today. They have been so supportive in our past with our golf tournament, and today continued that support with their generous donation.
We are so grateful that you joined in our ministry of giving and supporting with love and compassion, following in our founder, Frederick Ozanam, and our blessed Saint Vincent de Paul. So thank you for your contribution in behalf of our 54 conferences in Southwest Texas and our board members and 1,800 Vincentian volunteers. We greatly appreciate that.
And it wouldn't be a Cowboys season unless we presented the Society with our annual camp board signed by those we interviewed during training camp this year, including Dak Prescott and team owner Jerry Jones. And looking back now, we probably should have gotten Cooper Rush's signature along the way somewhere.
Well, who knew?
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, and hopefully they can auction that off and raise more money.
That's exactly what we hope, yes.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back after this. It's been a week and a half after Hurricane Ian tore through southwest Florida. People still struggling for basic needs like power, water, and a place to stay.
The powerful Category 4 storm has now killed at least 94 people in Florida, left tens of billions of dollars in damage. Vic Micolucci from WJXT, our sister station in Jacksonville, shows us some of the hardest hit areas after the storm.
People here are devastated. The damage is incredible to look at, but they are not broken. They are staying strong despite everything that has happened over the past week and a half. Take a look. This is in Arcadia. Sheriff's deputies tell me every home here was underwater. In fact, the floodwaters went to the roof or above the roof for so many properties around here. Everything underneath that water destroyed now. But people say there's still plenty of reason to have hope. We found Christina Castle walking her 2-year-old son Gavin around DeSoto Middle School, circle after circle across the campus. She says it's the closest thing to normalcy after losing their home in Hurricane Ian.
But you're in the bathroom with your 3 kids? Mm-hmm. What's that like?
It was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying.
12 hours inside that bathroom as their mobile home shook, eventually sliding off the foundation. Gavin has autism, his older brother and sister helping shield him from the storm's wrath as the roof and everything else came apart.
It was just terrifying. I just kept yelling for my kids to hold on to each other and to not let go, and I had him on my lap and was holding him.
You protected him.
It was really scary.
They're all okay.
Physically, yes. Shaken up.
A week and a half later, with a flooded car and nowhere to go, they are still here, getting help from the American Red Cross. This shelter is in Arcadia. It's on high ground. They have power and water. It's now home to 49 people, residents who lost their homes because of Hurricane Ian. We're not taking you inside because we want to respect their privacy. This is where they live now. But the Red Cross is helping them, giving them cots, food, mental health counseling, and hoping to find them temporary housing. What's it like to be able to give people a place to stay, a bathroom to use, some food, some temporary belongings?
It's awesome. I get choked up. It's what we do. You know, I was in Hurricane Michael. My area was affected. I know what it's like, and it's great to be able to help these people.
Jim Ball is the shelter manager. His team is giving guests a helping hand when they have next to nothing else. This is a rural farming area. Many families were already struggling to make ends meet. 20 feet of floodwater and Category 4 winds turned their lives upside down in a day. As rainwater drained from other places, the Peace River continued to rise, not peaking for a week.
Just sitting and listening to them, you know, because they don't need me to say anything to them. Just sit there and listen to them, let them talk, you know, let them tell you. I sit out here this morning with the lady, show me pictures from her childhood, and, you know, they're grieving. They've lost a lot.
We met Robert outside the shelter. He and his wife lost their home. It's filled with water, mold, and he says dozens of rats. Their dog also passed away.
We love that we own our property, but we can't go through another hurricane like this.
Despite it all, he's choosing to focus on what he has, not what he's lost.
Red Cross, yeah, I always looked up to them, but I never thought I'd ever need them. And I'm glad they're here, and they're making a difference in people's lives, and definitely my life.
And the survivors that we spoke to, they are so incredibly strong and grateful for everything. Simple things like a cold bottle of water, a hot meal, a fresh blanket. That means the world to them and their families. They're also pointing out that there is a lot of help here, whether it's the volunteer organizations, the sheriff's offices, and the fire departments coming from all across the Southeast, including northeastern Florida. And there are so many people who want them to succeed and rebuild. But that will take time. Reporting from Arcadia, I'm Vic Michelucci. Back to you.
Economists say tens of thousands of people are likely to file for unemployment benefits in the wake of Hurricane Ian. The state of Florida took the brunt of that storm, as you saw, suffering the biggest impact. Early estimates show Ian could be the most costly hurricane to ever make landfall in that state. The tourism industry took an especially hard hit. Economists say if those workers don't come back, those areas will struggle to rebound.
The Supreme Court declined to take up an appeal from Dylan Roof today. Roof was sentenced to death for killing 9 people in 2015 at a historically black church in Charleston, South Carolina. Following that federal court conviction, he pleaded guilty in 2017 to state murder and attempted murder charges. He received 9 consecutive life sentences and 3 consecutive 30-year sentences on those counts. This appeal is Roof's latest attempt to overturn his sentence after a lower court affirmed it last year.
There are new concerns tonight about vulnerabilities in America's cyber infrastructure. A Russian-speaking hacking group taking responsibility for a cyber attack on Monday.
That hack shut down websites for 14 major U.S. airports. Isabel Rosales explains why this attack is raising red flags and what you can do to protect yourself.
A cyber attack known as a distributed denial of service, shutting down the websites of 14 major airports.
The reason why they're alarming just in general is that they're so easy to accomplish.
Flooding computer servers with phony web traffic to knock them offline.
Anyone can do this for free or maybe at most spend $100. Kids do it all the time.
While there was no reported impact to actual air travel, the incident is bringing attention to the vulnerability of vital services.
Right now, the internet is like the wild, wild west.
A Russian-speaking hacking group known as Killnet is claiming responsibility for the cyber attack. Any ties to the Kremlin are unknown, but they've stepped up activity to target organizations in NATO countries since Russia's February invasion of Ukraine.
We live in a highly connected, highly vulnerable world where we don't control all that risk because of the complexities of the supply chain, where you might have small and medium businesses that might unintentionally transfer risk to you.
Cybersecurity expert Roger Grimes says the most important thing you can do to protect yourself online is learn how to spot a scam.
Number one is to not get tricked by social engineering. Social engineering is involved into 70 to 90% of all successful attacks.
I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
The results are in for NASA's experiment crashing that spacecraft into an asteroid. What scientists discovered on this historic mission up next.
Now to that historic NASA experiment 2 weeks ago. If you recall, a refrigerator-sized spacecraft slamming head-on into an asteroid 7 million miles from Earth.
Well, today, NASA giving an update on that mission. It was designed to prepare for any asteroids that could threaten our planet in the future. ABC's Morgan Norwood with how the mission went.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. Just 2 weeks after scientists watched the DART spacecraft slam into this asteroid at 14,000 miles per hour,
We have impact.
We're now learning more about how that historic test went. NASA giving an update.
We conducted humanity's first planetary defense test. NASA confirms that DART successfully changed the targeted asteroid's trajectory.
Millions watched as the refrigerator-sized spacecraft locked in on its target, a 500-foot space asteroid named Dimorphos. You can clearly see its rocky surface. Then all of a sudden, a loss of signal.
What a moment. Very few words can really capture this moment. This is beautiful to watch.
Stop of the Falcon 9 and the mission 10 months in the making. NASA launching DART last year. And though Dimorphos posed no threat to Earth, its conditions made for a perfect test run, with NASA hoping to prepare for a potential doomsday scenario. Dimorphos was pushed into a tighter orbit around its companion space rock, locking it in place. That same method is what NASA hopes will be able to divert a killer asteroid should one ever threaten Earth.
It was expected to be a huge success if it only slowed the orbit by about 10 minutes. But it actually slowed it by 32 minutes.
And though that DART experiment was successful, scientists still say warning time is important when it comes to deploying the asteroid defense system. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, let's take a look outside with live cam. We got some clouds out there, but we're still waiting on that rain, Adam.
Yeah, these aren't rain-producing clouds, unfortunately. We could use a good soaker, and we have some rain chances in the forecast. Just right now, it doesn't look like a good soaker in the forecast. 0% chance this evening. 85 right now. Will be near 80 at 8 o'clock. 10 o'clock down to 74 in the midnight, right near 70 degrees. A light south-southeasterly wind now at 9 miles per hour, at times picking up to 15. Not one, but two cold fronts will be impacting us over the next 7 days, each in different ways. We're going to talk about that and where Tropical Storm Carl is going. Currently in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Have an update in just a bit.
All right, before the break, Adam Caskey said those two words, cold front. Let's hear more about that.
I'd like to hear more about two words, rain chances.
I know. Don't get excited about the rain chances. Okay. And we have two cold fronts on the way. The first of which you're not going to notice a whole lot. The second of which you'll notice more impact. So low humidity for Thursday and Friday. That's going to be the impact of the first cold front. The second one will actually bring some lower and cooler temperatures for early next week. As for the rain chances, as of now, they remain fairly low, with about 30% being our best shot, and that'll be by Monday. So tomorrow, just a 10 to 20% chance late in the evening, early nighttime hours with the first cold front, and then no chance Thursday, Friday, Saturday. As we progress into Sunday, a few isolated showers and isolated activity possible again on Monday. Now, there is the chance that we could be raising these rain chances as we get more information in the days ahead. But right now it's looking pretty sparse in terms of the rainfall. Across the state today, we had some showers, especially over the past 18 hours or so in other parts of Texas, but not a whole lot, nothing really consequential. What we're looking at here in the southern Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche, this is the newest tropical storm, Tropical Storm Carl. And it's a low-end tropical storm, max sustained winds right near the center of it at 40 miles per hour, some gusts up to 50. Central pressure at 1008 millibars, so pretty low end right now. And it's likely to stay really close to where it is currently. Just meander around a little bit, wobble around in the Bay of Campeche, and then make landfall in that eastern coast of Mexico, somewhere between Tampico, Veracruz area by the end of this week on Friday, most likely as a tropical storm. So bottom line, it's not going to be impacting our weather, and we're not going to really notice much from that other than maybe some high clouds blown in toward the valley. That's what it looks like right now. 85 currently, dew point of 59. That south-southeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour. The dew point will be rising significantly in the coming hours. Once that sun sets, dew point's going to be climbing. Right now, dew point's right near the 60-degree mark. And that's not just locally, but all across our area. Dew point's for the most part near 60. So we're on the brink of that muggy and pleasant level, but these dew points are going to really take a hit behind this first cold front. So let's go through time. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow. Dew points low to mid 60s, and then it gets humid again tomorrow night. But notice by Thursday morning at sunrise, behind the first cold front, dew points really fall off. Drier air comes in from the north, and we could be talking dewies in the 20s and 30s in some spots by Thursday afternoon. There's that potential. So drier air back in place, but just for a few days. It's not going to last. By the weekend, the return flow comes off the Gulf of Mexico. Dew points rise again, and I think be elevated even on into Monday. Our next cold front hits Sunday night, but the drier air is going to lag behind it a little bit. All right, let's talk temperatures and how they'll be changing with the cold front number 2. Right now, 81 Kerrville and Fredericksburg, 87 Hondo, Pleasanton, Bulverde 83, Stinson 88 degrees, Uvalde now at 85. Tomorrow morning, upper 60s. By the afternoon, we're talking low to mid 90s. Nixon, Smiley area about 94. Converse 94, Comfort and Bernie 92. We think officially in San Antonio about 92 or 93 degrees. And that's going to be with low clouds in the morning at 68, 84 at noon, the 92 the high in the afternoon about 4 p.m. And then a 10% chance of a few showers after sunset tomorrow evening as that cold front gets a little bit closer. Cross your fingers, but unfortunately, I don't think we'll see a lot on the radar screen. And we're going to be above average in the low, at least near or in the low 90s through Sunday. So 90 to about 94 for high temperatures through Sunday. And then look at Monday and Tuesday. Behind that second cold front, you're going to notice it a little bit more. High temperatures in the upper 70s with the potential of it being even a little bit cooler than that in the afternoons. There's that shot. And also a bit breezy. You know, we typically have gustier winds behind these stronger cold fronts this time of year. And Monday, I do think, will be a little bit windy at times with, again, just a slight chance of a few showers here and there. But we could be changing those rain chances as we get more info. So check back in for updates.
See, I'm excited about the cold front. There's 2.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much on the rain chances.
Yeah. We'll be right back.
It is Tuesday, October 11th.
San Antonio police found a man's body in the 2900 block of Hatton Street near Couples Road. That's over on the west side. They were called there around 8:30 this morning for the welfare check. Someone had reported that the homeowner hadn't been seen since yesterday. That's when they found the man dead inside. Police think it may be suspicious, but they haven't said why that is. It happened around 12:30 this morning when police were called to the intersection of East Market and South Alamo Street. A 25-year-old man apparently got into an argument with 3 women in front of the McDonald's. There, he threw one of their purses and a cell phone into the Riverwalk, according to the police report. The 51-year-old man tried to help, and the 2 started fighting. That's when the 25-year-old allegedly stabbed him in the back twice. That suspect booked and charged on an aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon. The wife of California Governor Gavin Newsom now set to testify at Harvey Weinstein's trial. It's happening in Los Angeles. Her attorney says she was sexually assaulted by Weinstein at a purported business meeting. Weinstein's spokesperson declined to comment on the allegation. Newsom expected to testify in early November. Weinstein faces 11 charges in this Los Angeles sex crimes trial.
That is a young fella in a wheelchair. It is 8-year-old Cooper Roberts. Cooper finally got to go back to school, and he is so excited. Cooper was one of the victims of that 4th of July parade shooting that killed 7 people. Folks enjoying the parade were shot. Cooper was in critical condition, and there was fear he wouldn't make it, but he pulled through. He will start to go back to school on a limited basis since he is confined to that wheelchair. He was happy about seeing his classmates again, but a little bummed that he couldn't do much on the playground.
A farmer in West Virginia has earned a giant reputation with his love for these giant vegetables. He's only been growing them since last year, and he's already broken some state records in the process.
But last weekend, he took his game to a whole new level, breaking the world record for most varieties of jumbo veggies grown in one season. He grew 36 varieties, 3 more than the previous record. They included jumbo-sized pumpkins, beets, and carrots. Eat your veggies, kids.
What's he feeding them?
Yeah, what's his secret?
Right, there's something in that water he's giving them. Oh boy, that's what you call quite the hobby. Rain chances, 10% tomorrow evening and night, and then 20 to 30% Sunday and Monday, with the chance we raise those probabilities a little bit as well. Otherwise, low 90s the rest of this week.
I'm thinking jumbo-sized thermometers.
There's no puns there for
now
jumbo
you're speaking
vegetables.
my language.
He's squashing records.
See, you've got them all.
Come on.